All right, buckle up, folks, because we're about to dive into the hilariously factual origin story of New Year's. Picture ancient Rome, around 153 BCE. The Romans, as you know, were a serious bunch. They built aqueducts, conquered vast territories, but their calendar? Well, that was a bit of a mess. They used to kick off the new year in the spring, March to be precise, because, nature was waking up seemed logical for new beginnings. Their go-to god for this was Mars, a stern dude, the god of war. But then come along two Roman consuls, Quintus Fulvius Nobilior and Titus Annius Luscus. Now, these guys were apparently very busy, and they got so fed up with having to wait until March to start their consular duties that they lobbied, get this, to move the start of the year to January 1st, purely because it was more convenient for them to take office. No springtime allegories, no blooming flowers. Just good old-fashioned bureaucracy and a desire to get down to their important consuling. And just like that, with the stroke of some senatorial decree, likely fueled by these two impatient officials, January 1st became the start of the new year. They dedicated the day to Janus, the two-faced god of doors and beginnings. At least there was some logic there. The start of the year is a new doorway and all that jazz. Janus was even depicted with two faces, one looking back at the past, the other gazing into the future, probably trying to figure out which resolutions they'd break first. Now, this change didn't exactly catch on overnight. Some old-school Romans, the calendar equivalent of your grandpa who still uses a flip phone, stubbornly kept celebrating the new year in the spring. Imagine the awkward social gatherings, some folks toasting to the new year in January, while others were still waiting for the March equinox to roll around. But as it often does, bureaucracy triumphed over tradition. January 1st stuck, and even after the Roman Empire crumbled like a poorly constructed aqueduct, most countries kept this date as the start of the year. Of course, later on, they threw in some pagan and Christian traditions, like decorating evergreen trees, which the Romans wouldn't have recognized at a toga party, and making a racket to scare away evil spirits who probably weren't too intimidated by Roman legions anyway. So, the next time you're frantically trying to finish your leftover holiday snacks on January 1st and vaguely recalling some resolutions you made, remember, it all started with two Roman consuls who just couldn't wait to get to work. And that, my friends, is the honest-to-goodness and surprisingly amusing story of the most bureaucratically inspired holiday of the year.